2001. I am going through some of the best movies for every single year that I have been alive. In the year 2001, I was 11.
Will's doing it.
And I know this is not all the movies that came out in 2001, but these are the ones that kind of stand out to me and I think are really great. So if you have any other things I might have missed, please leave them down below. 2001 had some really, really strong contenders here. First up, we have Lord of the Rings, the first one, Fellowship of the Ring. I myself am not an enormous Lord of the Rings fan. I'm more of a sci-fi guy than fantasy, but I can still appreciate the immenseness of this trilogy starting here in 2001 with Fellowship of the Ring. The filmmaking here is top-notch. Between all the practical effects, all the different forced perspectives they did to make the hobbits look small, all this kind of stuff leads into a really just incredible feat. And I know there's so many classic parts of this movie. We have the ring to rule them all. My precious. Next up, we have another enormous fantasy franchise, Harry Potter. They're little baby kids in this one, and you just see them grow as the movies go on. Obviously, these movies are on TV constantly. They're rewatched a bajillion times over by everyone in the whole world. It really is a magical film. You know, no pun intended. It really is just the wonder and things you get, like seeing everything new through their eyes, seeing all these new magical things in their world. And when you're a kid watching this movie, you really feel like you're going to Hogwarts too. You go to the castle, you see all this magic. It's just incredible and it's so fun. Obviously, all the child actors that are in this movie grow up throughout the years and they get better and better. You know, you could see when they're a little young and the script is maybe not the strongest and they're not the strongest actors yet because they're really, you know, young kids. But they get better and better and the story gets more intense and dark and the color grading of the movies get darker and darker. But this is where it started. Harry Potter 2001. Next up, we have an amazing, original, fun idea from Disney Pixar. Monsters, Inc. came out in 2001. The special effects in this, just to get all of Sully's fur correct, is just amazing on its own for what year this came out in. I think that they probably had to build full systems just for have his fur do its thing. But what a fun original idea. The monsters that are hiding in your closet, they're actually just doing it for fuel and energy. And then they find out actually laughs are what the thing that gets more energy. It's just a really fun, creative idea. And you have the little girl who, you know, they think is dangerous, but it's not. And if you haven't seen Monsters, Inc., what have you been doing? It's just such a fun and I love an original idea. Every time Disney Pixar comes out with something, you know it's a banger. Now going over to Pixar's biggest competition at the time, DreamWorks. And you had the man himself, Shrek, came out in 2001 as well. And this was like DreamWorks is really like foyer, like their big thing that really brought them to the table. Shrek is so fun, has a bit more of I guess a little more adult humor in it, but it's really, really great. It's still, people love Shrek even now. All the Smash Mouth songs, just Mike Myers doing a great job. And you can't forget Eddie Murphy being Donkey, one of the best characters in history. And obviously they had more sequels as time went on, some better, some worse, but the first one is pretty special. Donkey! Switch it up a bit, we have the first Fast and the Furious. It's so funny to go back to these movies and watch where they began. And it's, you know, young Dom Toretto, and then there's the Paul Walker, the cop, Brian, and he's trying to figure out where, like, people are stealing, like, DVD, combo VHS DVD players, and they're just pretty much just like thieves with cars, and that was all it was. And now where the movies are, they're going to space. There's pretty much secret agents with cars. And it was a slow ramp, but it kind of within the last like 3 or 4 movies, it's really gone up. And it's just interesting to go back and look at the classic Fast and the Furious one. If you haven't seen them, they just get more fun and more silly. And as long as you go in knowing these movies are just a good time with tires, then you'll enjoy yourself. If you're trying to think about it too much, your brain might hurt. It's not worth it. Just have a good time. I think a very underrated comedy is Wet Hot American Summer. There's some amazing people in this movie, great cast, and it's just so silly and fun. Paul Rudd has some hilarious scenes as his really kind of like, I don't give a shit character. Ken Marino is hilarious. It's just, movies like this don't come around all the time, and I feel like it wasn't well known when it came out, but I think more and more time has gone on. It's become more and more of a cult classic. If you have not seen Wet Hot American Summer, you'll probably know every single person in the cast because it really is like a who's who of now who's huge in Hollywood. And they just do such fun, silly, amazing stuff in this movie. Please go check it out if you have not. Another absolute good time is Ocean's 11, the first one. Obviously, it's a remake. They made an old one back in the day, but this is the original, newer one. And you got George Clooney, you got Brad Pitt, you have a huge cast of characters, but just the charisma of all these guys and assembling the team, and all of them have different skills, and they try to, and the heist is just so fun. Obviously, you have sequels 12, 13, 14, they went back to 8 for some reason. The way they do the reveals of how they do things, all this kind of stuff, it's just a really, really fun way of showing a movie, and you're just like, oh man, you just the whole time you're just like, they're so cool. And in the list on a classic silly comedy that I can watch over and over that has a horrendous sequel, Zoolander. Ben Stiller just does such a fun job of being so oblivious and dumb as this character, but then still so charming and fun at the same time. And it's just one of those things you watch and you're like, this is not something that usually is not made today anymore. They made a sequel. They made Zoolander 2, I think probably 6, 7, 8 years ago. I'm not sure. I kind of lost track of time. But it was so bad. It just lost all the magic of the first one. And that's what happens. I think no matter what, if you make a sequel more than 10 years past the original that came out, please don't bother. Unless you have something new to bring to the table, don't do it. But Zoolander 2001, so good. What is this? A Center for Ants. 2001 has some of the strongest contenders. I think right as of this countdown I'm doing, going through all these years, this might be the number one so far for like just franchises, big blockbuster movies, and movies that just are still going today. It's wild. What a good year. If you like this, I'm going through all the years, so I have a really great playlist going everywhere from 1990 all the way up to today. If you could please subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. And if you could follow me on Letterboxd, I love that app. I post things all the time. I love making these, and I hope you enjoy watching them. What is your favorite movie from 2001? Let me know down below. See you later.